I'm gonna do it right now. All right, what's up, guys? We are back, and we're going to be talking about Lovecraft Country, the new HBO show from Misha Green and some really good other executive producers, J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele.
Yes,
so, yeah,
good stuff.
Let's we're gonna do a little recap. We didn't get to talk about not really recap, but just talk about what we liked, what we maybe didn't like. Episode 1 and 2. And then try to get more of these out every week. But stay tuned. Listen to this damn theme song.
I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
So just a quick synopsis. This is a young African American travels across the U.S. in the 1950s in search of his missing father. So that's kind of like.
That's the setup. They don't give you more than that.
They don't give you setup, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Shout out to Journey Smollett. Shout out to Journey Smollett is in there. Jonathan.
That's Juicy Smollet's sister, right?
Yes, it is. She's actually the real star of the family.
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah, she's the real star.
What is he saying over there?
Yeah, I know he's talking about.
That helmet boy.
So it's Jonathan Myers, Journey Smollett, Courtney B. Vance, Michael Keith Williams, Anjanou Ellis. Shout out to her, Abby Lee.
There's a bunch of people.
There's a lot of famous people in this show here.
Great acting.
So let's go back a little bit to the synopsis. It takes place. The search starts out with a dream sequence, which is kind of introduction to Lovecraft. Not to get it confused with Lovecraft. This is Lovecraft Country, not confused with Lovecraft.
Yes, based on a book.
This is book based. They're both based off books.
Well, Lovecraft is an author. He was an author.
Of Lovecraft
multiple books. Multiple books.
Yes.
Yeah, multiple books.
But this is Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Matt Ruff.
Not to be confused with the racist asshole.
Well, there's still racism.
H.P. Lovecraft.
And we're gonna.
Well, there is, but Matt Ruff is not a racist asshole.
No, he's not. But HP is a little on.
Yeah. He's dead though, so we're not worried.
We're not worried about him. But this is Matt Ross. Lovecraft Country is not only a book, but it's by the TV show.
This show is dancing on his grave. Just dancing.
So basically, the first episode starts off with Atticus, played by Jonathan Myers. Atticus Freeman. He is asleep on the bus and he has his dream. It's his big dream. So shout out to I thought the cinematography. I mean, not the cinematography. The graphics and everything was good. I'm gonna say the name of the monster wrong. So what is the
Shoggoth?
No.
Which monster? The Shoggoth?
No,
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cthulhu.
Getting jacked up by Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
He has really interesting dreams.
But Cthulhu Cthulhu is actually a major character, major monster inside of the Lovecraft theme. So I think that was the first introduction to bringing this all together. Like this is Lovecraft, but it's Lovecraft Country, so I think they wanted to bring that into it. So I thought the opening was really, really good. Even with Jackie Robinson smashing down things, and we're gonna take it to another level.
You can just decide whether
it was a lot.
Everyone's symbolism in their head.
Everybody's symbolism.
Let's just go Cthulhu's is racism. And Jackie Robinson just beat the shit out of it.
Let's not even say racism. Let's just say evil.
Just evil.
He was evil, and Jackie Robinson number 40.
It represented something.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a Brooklyn boy. I get time to get used to. So shout out to that. So it opens up with that, and then Atticus wakes up.
Yeah.
On the bus, and he's on the back of a bus. This in your 1950s. I want to say it was like Louisiana he was in, or Georgia. It was somewhere in the far southern states doing a real.
I can't remember. It might have been Kentucky or some shit.
No, it was a little
Kansas or something.
No.
I thought it was in Middle America.
No,
because
they go to Middle America, but he was coming from the south.
I don't remember.
So they was crossing over a Confederate
shitty
bridge.
place.
They was crossing out a Confederate bridge. Shout out to the first line of the movie. He goes, "Oh, what did I miss?" She goes, "Oh, nothing. We just crossing over another racist Confederate."
Another bridge named after a slave owner.
Yeah. So that was shout out to that. He gets off the bus. The bus breaks down. I mean, I'm not gonna go scene by scene, but it was really good.
Yeah.
He ends up in Chicago.
Yes.
Chicago,
yes.
Where he meets up with his uncle. We have a side character we're introduced to, Journey Smollett's character.
Yeah.
Latia.
Letitia fucking James.
Letitia fucking James.
I'm sorry, Letitia fucking Lewis.
Lewis. See, you got me there,
Letitia. It might as well be James.
No, Letitia Lewis.
Black names.
So no, you get and she has contention with her sister. You can see that there's something going on with that. She's kind of broke, doesn't have no money, and she missed her mother's funeral. And we also introduced to Courtney B. Vance. Shout out to Courtney B. Vance. You might know him from a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I know him from.
He was in Power Project.
Yes, he was in Power Project. Yes, he was. But I know him because his wife is amazing.
He's also in Law and Order SVU, one of them. I don't know.
Also married to the amazing.
Who he married to?
Angela Bassett.
Oh, is he married to Angela Bassett?
Yes, he is married to Angela Bassett.
That's Black Panther's mama.
Yes, it is. It was also Tina Turner.
Oh, my God.
Not the Tina Turner reference.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay.
we introduced Courtney B. Vance. This is a good actor of his own. Shout out to Courtney B. and Angela Bassett. Black love. We love that.
Yeah.
And that's Uncle George Freeman. Interesting choice of last name, Freeman. I think that actually has a lot to do with it also.
Yeah.
We're going to get heavy into this, y'all, because I actually like this.
Yeah.
I like the concept of it. So you can tell that and what his uncle does is that he creates trips for people of color to take vacations.
Yeah.
Basically, like safe houses, safe trips. This is the 1950s, so this is in the middle of Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Separate but equal.
Yeah. And they have that book, the little travel book.
And he creates the travel book. One thing as an interesting character, and I hope they develop in the first 2 episodes. The second episode they didn't show her, but the first episode, his daughter's drawing, and I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know if that had anything to do with something.
What was she drawing?
She drew the comic books. She's a really good comic book. And then in this latest one, she drew her mother as a superhero. So I was like, shout out to Black Girl Power.
Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting also. So they get up. Atticus' father is missing.
Yeah.
So they go and they look for Atticus's father. Well, they pick up clues, and they pick up clues from a book, the Lovecraft book. If I'm not mistaken. Was it the Lovecraft book?
What part? The part where they're looking for the father?
Well, no, when they're still in Chicago.
Oh yeah, where he finds the clue to go where he says he is.
Yeah. That was in the Lovecraft book. So this is when the Lovecraft information comes in. They get their band of wagon. Letitia comes. I don't know. They didn't even explain why she was there, but she just
he saw her at that show. And
it was like, you should go with us. Other. Yeah,
going on an adventure.
Going on an adventure. So they end up in a small little town. There's a really good scene in the, I think it's a really funny scene, but it's a good scene. There's a little bit of history lesson in there when they go to that diner.
Yeah.
They think it's one diner. Well, there was one diner. It was a black-owned diner. And then it got burned down. We found that it got burned down, and now it is a racist, segregated diner. And Letitia goes to the bathroom. She hears them talking about these niggers in the restaurant, and they're not going to serve them. So they come and they shoot them out, and they're racing out. That's when we are introduced to Abby Lee's character, who is Christina Bathwaite. Is it Bathwaite?
Bathwaite, yeah.
Bathwaite, yeah. And you see she has an amazing Phantom. Yeah.
Her car is nice.
Her car is nice.
Her car is nice.
Some cars.
It's okay.
And she stops these guys from shooting them. They go to Letitia's brother's house. After they escape that, they go to Letitia's brother's house, and you can see the contention between Letitia and her brother. Yeah. And just how deep they go inside the book. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you talk, I promise.
No, you almost got to the end of the episode.
No, we not.
We got to get to certain parts.
We got to get to certain parts. Okay. Letitia's brother. One thing I thought was interesting. Shit, I lost my track. Oh yeah, is that when they were driving? Yeah. So one of the signs that they said this is an after sunset.
Yeah, after sunset town. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the after sunset town. So that has 2 meanings, and we find out that it has 2 meanings. The original meaning, and I think this is where the author was amazing. I can't think of his name. Matt. I thought Matt was amazing in this. Is that so? After sunset town. So after sunset town meant that for people of color, if you were seen after a certain time or after sunset, you were able to get hung. Yeah. Or abused in some form.
You get got.
You got. But we also learned that there's some creatures of the night
Yeah. Shoggoths.
Yeah, Shoggoths. They have creatures of the night. So after we go to Letitia's brother's house, they do the argument. They find out that there is a secret house, a passage or something that they need to go find, and they think that's where Atticus's dad is at. So they go looking for it, and they're like, maybe it's on the path, and they can't find it. By the way, Courtney B. Vance's Uncle George is Atticus's uncle, the father's brother. So they
possibly his daddy. You don't know.
Oh, but they couldn't have been his daddy because
he could have. He was sleeping with the mama.
Who was sleeping with his mama?
Courtney B. Vance. You remember Uncle George? And that's the thing. It was they were hot and heavy.
With whose
they were
mother?
hot and he was hot and heavy with Atticus's mama. Possibly.
Who?
Uncle George
Was
with 2.
Atticus's mother? Yeah. They don't show Atticus's mother.
Yeah, they do. We're going to go back.
Wait, Angelo Ellis is... See, no, you told me. They said, I thought that was Angelo Ellis as a younger age. No, that was Atticus' mama.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was...
But you don't know if they made Atticus.
They made somebody.
Yeah,
they did something.
They could have.
They were doing something. But anyway, so wait, we ain't get to that yet. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm not going to say.
We're not going to say.
I'm not going to say.
We're not going to say. Always spoiling stuff.
I'm not spoiling nothing.
It's spoiling everything.
It's not in the book.
Let's see. Black people, we don't read nothing. No.
Oh, man.
It was a joke. I know. Here come the comments. It's all right.
Damn.
No. But, so we get into the woods. They're looking for this house, this place, this path.
Yeah.
To find Atticus' father. What is Atticus' father's name? Do we have
Montrose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Montrose Freeman. Shout out to Montrose Freeman. But we they go in there and they're looking and they're not finding this road, and a police officer comes.
The worst, most cartoonist, evil motherfucker on earth.
Well, I think that it was exaggerated.
Oh yeah, he was. It's because they wanted you to see that the monsters were just inhumans.
Yes.
The idea of monster and evilness was more so in this episode in the people they encountered.
Yes.
Than anything you saw at the end of the episode. Those were just actual monsters.
Yeah.
But like the actual monsters was that fucking
people.
That sheriff was the worst thing I've ever seen.
See, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what made it so good.
Yeah.
The first episode was so good was that because it was showing like monsters and what the monsters.
I know a bunch of people was mad in there. Their sofa just pissed off, spilling their wine in their lap.
But I think they had to do that, especially on the introductory episode.
Yeah.
So you can get mad, so you can see the monster, you can see the dichotomy
I can't watch that show.
The parallels between the monsters.
Only stemless glasses now.
3 times.
Stemless glasses now though. I got that stem. I'm just shaking. I'm just shaking angry. Just broke one of the stems. I was so angry. I just broke it. It was terrible.
No, but so
that happened for real.
Really?
No, nigga.
Come on. I'm all excited. Don't take it serious. Mental health issue. No. So they have it's a really interesting dialogue talking about a racist dialogue that they had.
Yeah.
Which I thought was terrible, but it does happen. He's like, it's my right to hang you guys if I catch you after Sunday.
Yep.
And he has all of like 5 minutes to like drive across the county lines.
Yeah.
They do make it across the county lines, but there's more racist white people there.
But getting across the county lines was some of the most stressful TV
it is
that I've seen.
But I think
it
was good though.
It was only like 2 minutes,
but it was the most intense.
Are we gonna make it?
Are we gonna make it?
Can't speed.
Yeah, can't speed. They pull us over. I mean, he was hitting him in the back of the
he hit him at least 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, and they couldn't go over the speed. He said, "We can't go over the speed limit." He said, "Because I'm gonna pull you over." So he was like, "All right."
And they're looking at they're literally looking at the horizon like, "Oh like,
shit, we got."
Yeah, that was stressful. That was really good. That was really good.
Yes.
Like that's kind of that before you even saw any actual monsters. That was.
Yeah, because
you heard. I mean, Atticus mentions them before when they're standing out in the woods. He's like, "Oh," she's like, Letitia's like, "What's that sound?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a shoggoth." And then she's like, "What the fuck's a shoggoth?" And
but
he
it was kind of, but it was kind of a joke.
He was joking, but
he was joking.
He was right.
Yeah, because she was talking about from the books. That his father. So just a hashtag, just a little backstory they had on it. His father was really into the books, and he got him into the books, into these Lovecraft books.
Yeah, they're all into the occult because they're all like in little guilds.
they're really into
but we're in two episodes at once.
Yeah. Okay,
mix it all together, man.
They're really into the books. Why they're into the books? We don't know why they're into the books because they just really like the books.
Yeah.
And they like and the books are coming true to them. They actually make a reference to one of the other books. It wasn't a Lovecraft book. It was another book when he was going out to find his father because he wrote him a note. Mm-hmm. And I forgot the book they did. But anyway, so they get into the woods. They made it across the county line to run into some more black people. I mean, some more white racist cops or whatever. Yeah. They dragged them out the car, or they're walking them into the woods. Obviously, they were going to hang them. They push them to the ground, and then the terror starts. The Shoggoths.
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
No, Shoggoth.
Shoggoth. Come out and they literally just rip the heads off of people. It's this alien monster dog.
Well, they call them. They're like vampires because they bite you and then you turn into one of them. I mean, they're just Shoggoths, but that's a good explanation for what they are for the show.
Yes,
like these creatures, big. He explains it in the woods. He says what they are: just big blobs with eyes. Spread things,
That's
so
good.
They come out and they biting people.
They're terrifying. I mean,
I was laughing more during that scene than anything though, where the other sheriff gets shot. And then it's like, shoot that motherfucker.
Yeah. He was like, I really think you should shoot him.
You should shoot him now.
You should shoot him now.
I think you should shoot him now.
I think you should shoot him.
He was real calm about it.
He's like, bro, I think you should.
One of y'all should take that gun and just shoot that dude.
Like, that's what I would have done. But anyway, so the Shoggoths, they come in and they start terrorizing them and they're biting them. But the black people don't die. So they run into a cabin, which was awesome. They run into a cabin, they get into it, and then one of the sheriff, he got bit, and he goes, well, what happens to a vampire after, what happens to you after a vampire hits you? You turn into it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Journey Smollett, Letitia, runs to the car. The light is the one that distracts him. They're about to die, and somebody blows a whistle.
Yeah.
And that was the end.
And we find out who blows that whistle, right?
And now we're on to episode 2.
Yeah.
There's only 8 episodes. Wow.
Only 8 episodes. And it's funny because it's like I told you when we were off camera. There's 8 parts in the book.
Yes.
And there are 8 interconnected stories. So you've already spent 2 episodes on one book.
Story,
so at least one episode will be
either short or
will be
combined.
2, or maybe they'll end the season before finishing the entire book. You never know. But just jump ahead. Like obviously, I think Letitia's story at her house,
that's just the next one,
which is the next episode, the one where she inherits this house. That could be shortened, but we'll see how they might combine that with the next story. So we'll see how they do it. Like I'm interested to see how they do it, but it's gonna always lend to the pacing that you saw in episode 1 and 2, which is where they start off. There's a lot of story, but not so much there's character development, because that's one thing that's a little bit lacking, the character development portion of it, but because it's really a rebuke of American society. Like it's strong on that level and strong on story, and you're missing a lot of what I see online is people asking questions about why is this happening to them? Why is it? And I hope people get answers, but I don't think they're going to.
But no. But do you think? And we'll go back into the story.
Yeah.
But do you think that is kind of conscious, unconscious decision from production creator? Because what happens is it creates a conversation. It creates a suspense almost in real life of a fictional thing. It draws these questions that maybe there isn't a conclusion to. I mean, when we're talking about racism and race in America and stuff like that, there are a lot of questions.
I mean, that's not the point. Is not for you to know everything about Atticus. That's the thing. That's not the point of the show.
Yes.
The point is not to know everything about Letitia. They are vehicles for this for the message and the story.
Yes.
And that's what you just gotta.
But
if you were someone who's just like, I need character development, I need to know why their motivations.
You are watching the wrong show, or you need to read the book.
No, they'll just. Well, it's not. That's the thing. The book isn't like that. Okay. Like they're not. They don't.
It just goes into it.
It's the same thing. It's like there's a point to why it's written.
Yeah.
And but for TV, like HBO is changing things on purpose, because they're like, we can't just. The book is very anticlimactic. Let's just say that. Okay. Like there's no it's like episode 2, which we can go back and forth how we talk about, like there's a part in episode 2 where they kind of escape from like a dream state, like where they've been spells been cast by Christina or the runes or I won't say, but stuff has happened to them, and they come out like George comes out and he's just like, oh, I think I know how to handle. I'm like, man, why you so fucking calm, yo? And like that's how the book always is. They're just like, oh, we know what to do. Why you people trying to get to us? We know what's going on. But like that is the kind of thing that HBO. They haven't stuck to the whole time. Okay. They haven't stuck to like them just being overconfident about what their situation is, because that would just be really boring.
It probably would be really boring.
So they actually get scared.
Yeah, like there's emotion.
Ain't that much scare. It's not that much fear from the characters in the book.
I wonder if they did that, but not a backstory. I don't know. There's a book, just a side thing, and we're about to talk about. We're going to episode 2 because you brought it up. But just as a thing, Elie Wiesel did. Can't think of the book. Night by Elie Wiesel. The book is like 20 pages long. It's that long. It's a really thin book. But it's a bestseller. Yada 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 yada.
Yeah, because you could read it real quick.
Yeah, it really was like. But it was one of the most. If anybody reads it, it was one of the most grinding books that there's a little 20 pages, 20, 30 page book, but
what font was it in?
It was Times New Roman.
Oh, regular like 12?
Yeah, it was real. It's a regular book, you know what I mean? But it's just really thick. But what happens is that there's so much.
I'm gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah, it's about the Holocaust. It's about Auschwitz.
Okay.
Night by Elie.
Terrible time.
It was, but it doesn't give you backstory. It just like takes off of the first day in Auschwitz. So so there's no backstory. It's like. They were chopping up people's heads, and that's like on page 1. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that. But anyway.
Sounds like Letters for Hiroshima, a book I read.
Yeah.
Sounds like a different.
Look at that black man. We read something. But anyway.
I went to school.
I went to school. Okay. So going to episode 2. So we're left at this cliffhanger. We left the cliffhanger in episode 1. They walk out of the woods. It's the next day. The monsters are going after the whistle, and they end up in this amazing mansion. In the middle of literally nowhere. It's a beautiful house, whatever you think of your castle house estate. That this is Tenuta in Italy, if you want to do that. Big estate. So they opens up. White guy opens the door and says, "Oh, we've been waiting for you, Mr. Freeman and Mr. Freeman." So that's where it ends. So then it picks up. It opens up with the theme song of the Jeffersons. Shout out to George and Wheezy. Ends up in Uncle George Freeman and Letitia's trying on clothes. Uncle George is reading all these amazing
all them
books.
Clothes fit too.
Yeah, amazing.
People, I saw some clothes. Like, how them clothes fit? Like, it's because of magic.
It's TV. No,
it's magic.
yeah.
Because the shit is magic. That's why.
And they got all of Uncle George's favorite books in there.
Yeah, because magic.
Yeah. And they don't seem to be bothered about what happened a couple of hours before. Because
they forgot.
Yeah. Well, they didn't forget.
They forgot. It was wiped.
It was wiped. It's a difference between forgetting. See, come on now.
They did forget. They forgot.
No, but there's a difference between forgetting.
If your memory is wiped, you forgot.
But your memory was wiped, but you didn't forget.
You didn't forget, really.
You didn't forget. Come on, that's what I think. And just to,
that's symbolic.
It's symbolic of what's going on. Just because we don't remember those
narratives.
Come on,
narratives.
Yes, it is.
Man, look, the show is literally, it's genius because of that. But I'm like, look, I see that. You need to make sure that monster color look right, because I will ding you on that graphics.
Oh, but just shout out.
I'm sorry, I ding.
No.
I saw some clipping in that monster there. Shit look whack. All right.
No, but that actually brings us to the second episode, which is called Whitey on the Moon, which is really good. It's actually it's a song. I'm going to look it up right quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
You were telling me about this
Yes,
song.
Whitey on the Moon.
They went into the house. You finally get to meet, Christina's dad, Titus, who's played by Tony Goldwyn, and he's having his little meetings. He's explaining what is gonna go down and how he needs Atticus and why all of this matters, and that's where you get the whole discussion about living forever, and you find out exactly what he wants, but you don't find out until a little bit later why Atticus is really important for it, and why that's really a big deal.
Yes.
Which is that's what I'm saying. The story, how it unfolds, is good. The disjointed part there is probably, just because you go from that to, the party to the dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it jumps around for people that aren't paying attention. Which I don't like giving excuses for people who can't like just turn everything off, turn the lights off, and stare at the TV. But if you gotta rewatch something more than once,
so just to bring back to that, go on what you're saying. It's called Whitey on the Moon. It's by Gil Scott Heron.
Gil
Scott Heron. Who one of his famous works we might know is that the revolution will not be televised.
Yeah. Somebody come down there.
The revolution.
Oh, okay, remember.
The revolution will not be televised. So that in each one, and actually in the first episode, it was James Baldwin they had using. They're using that one there. So this one here, they use the revolution, the Gil Scott Heron's Whitey on the Moon. They put it in a really poignant place, but we'll get back into that. Just shout out to that. So anyway, so they wake up, they're distracted.
Your idea?
You okay? Yep. Producer doing this thing. We good? Okay.
You got to restart it.
Good.
Okay.
I
don't know what he's doing over there.
Okay. So
fucking with them cameras.
They go into it. The dream screen. They talk about the house when they wake up. They talk about the house, and basically its creator, and I mean not the creator, but the architect and who he was.
Yeah.
And this cults that they're into, and they kind of talk about legacy. And it's very poignant when they're looking over the balcony. They go, he was into shipping. And, Letitia goes, well, that meant slaves. And he said that he was very nice to his workers. And then they kind of connect the dots and realize that meant that he was sleeping with the self. He was sleeping with the help.
Yeah, he was very nice to him.
He was very nice.
He used to slip on some dicky. Slip on some dicky. Fuck out of here.
You know what I mean? So, and then you find out that Atticus is a part of this lineage. And lineage is very important. And the reason why I say that is because some people don't feel like they belong or some places, and they talk about this a little bit because they don't have the lineage. I mean, when you talk about Kamala Harris, I heard that she wasn't black because, she came from a slave master. But I would say that really makes you black. But I'm not going to get into politics, though, because that's a whole nother thing. But she, but they found out that, Atticus is a part of this group, and they say that even though they don't want you here, you belong here.
Yeah, he belonged there more than the rest of them.
Within more than them, and
except for Titus. Well, even more than Titus.
Well, even more than Titus.
Yeah, he's direct.
Yeah.
So is Titus, but like
Titus was the father, right?
So Titus is the father. Yes. So basically, Atticus could do the same spell. He would use Titus though. Mm-hmm. Like one of them has to use the other. He used Atticus. So they are direct blood descendants. Yes.
Yeah. The second episode.
What's funny? He could have used his daughter.
He couldn't.
He couldn't use his daughter.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He couldn't use his daughter.
Yeah, he couldn't use the daughter. I mean, and that's when you get a little bit into the misogyny, and they talk about that. And because that ring thing was amazing. He said, no matter what you do, you'll never be me. And then she was like, yeah. She's like, and I'm black. So I thought that was awesome. The second episode was a little weird.
Yeah.
To me, it took me on
half of it. I ain't like.
Yeah, it was some weird stuff that's going on. Look, I didn't understand who that lady was.
Which lady?
In the
barn.
In the barn.
She's the barn keep.
But there was really nothing she was keeping. There was nothing in there.
Yeah, there was
chicken heads.
There's stuff in there. She's the barn keep though.
She was the barn keep. Yeah. They wake up. They want to rule the town, and then they find out that Letitia and Uncle, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Uncle George. Their minds were cleared, wiped, cleared. And because they don't remember anything that happened the previous night before. Yeah. The car is okay, in good condition. What is in good condition and everything like that. So, and they found out their minds were erased or whatever. And then Atticus asks the little white girl, "Can you make my friends normal? Can you bring their memory back?" And they got their memory back. Yeah. Yeah. Am I missing anything?
I mean,
the last part, and go ahead.
Which last part? I mean, like the whole them getting their memories. I mean, it happens again in the episode. Remember when they are leaving and they're out in the woods, and then you actually see Christina roll up on her horse and use her whistle to control the Shoggoths.
Is that like White Savior? Is that what we're doing?
I
like,
guess that's.
white
I don't. Yeah, most it could be.
You know what I mean?
Could be this bitch is just in control of some monster shit.
Yeah, that is true.
She's in control. She's in control of the evil like this. She's more evil than them.
Yeah,
but she's really. I mean, so it'll get into like Christina did benevolent things or things to help herself in that episode where she's helping Atticus. You know, or she's helping like she heals Letitia.
Yes.
Yeah, like so.
No, I thought the father healed Letitia.
That's. I mean. So this is the thing. Like, everybody, yeah, like random ass ghosts healing people. Like it's somebody with magic on the episode. That person did not die.
Oh Lord, here we go.
That person didn't die.
Well, she did die.
No, she ain't dead. Christina.
Letitia didn't die.
No, I'm saying Christina didn't die.
Well, yeah, we didn't know where she went.
Yeah,
she was in the house.
Yeah, a lot of good things happened for her, right?
Yeah,
her dad's dead. That little order's dead. Now she knows about all the books. She knows about all the spells.
So she can be like the queen.
Which she never would have been in because she was a woman.
Which she's a woman. So this is when we get like to the masonry. Yeah. And actually, a couple of friends were telling me like they were really kind of upset about this episode because the Masons, and they was like, the Masons are not witchcraft.
No, they're in the warlockery.
Is
that what you call it? Is it warlockery?
But I mean,
don't put no spell on me.
I'm talking about the real Masons, though. Like,
okay,
I
was just talking about the
show, but no, there's like the real like
fake Masons.
No, in real life. So if you were part of a Masons, you know those Eastern Stars and those Masons. So that's a whole nother thing in real life. But I don't know. I wasn't in the Masons. I wasn't born into that. So
it don't matter. I drink Golden Seal tea, so they can't fuck with me. My grandma got me on that Golden Seal long time ago.
I hear you.
They can't fuck with me.
But like I said, I really thought. I mean, a couple other things happened in the episode. I think like the ending was really confusing. He sees his great grandmother.
Everybody put a number on that shit. You don't know what great it could be her. 55 great grandma. You don't know how.
No, it was a great.
I see great. I see great. I'm like, just say great grandma.
It was his great grandmother. It was a great grandma, and he sees her, and and he kills everybody in stone or whatever. The second episode was a little confusing. You know, I just thought it was a lot.
What do you think about that? How'd he do that? I can't tell you, but how do you think he did that?
Well, you told me.
I did. Did I tell you?
You did tell me.
Oh yeah, you did. What did you think before I told you?
Well, I didn't. I thought it was like the power within.
The power within.
I thought the grandmother said.
It might have been. It might be.
The force is within.
You know what? Misha Green might. That might be what she's going for.
Yeah, like
she might have changed it to the spell backfired when he actually found strength within him. Yeah. Found the ability to resist, and it backfired, and setting everybody in stone.
Yes. So I thought that's what I thought. I thought it was the grandmother wanted.
It could be that.
Yeah, because the house burnt down. But yeah, I thought it's a really good. I mean, the second episode was a little confusing. But it's a really good really good series so far. I'm enjoying it. I know that a lot of Lovecraft fans
don't like it.
Well, I've heard 50-50.
Yeah.
I've heard 50-50 on it because when they first saw it, I think they thought it was going to be like Lovecraft.
They think it's some Lovecraft shit.
It's not. It's Lovecraft Country.
It's not.
This is a completely different book. Yeah. It's a completely different series.
Yeah.
It's in the Lovecraft universe.
Yeah.
But it's a different book. You're not gonna. Yeah.
So just go watch Color Out of Space. Yeah. It's got Nicolas Cage in it. It came out recently.
But
go watch that.
Yeah, but I wanted to take some time and talk about this. I thought it was really good. I love.
I mean, I would love to talk about it every week.
Every week. Well, how about that?
I'm gonna be watching it. I feel the same way. I think it's definitely worth people to watch.
Yes,
worth it to watch the show. I don't know. Like, I don't like compare. I don't want to compare it to any other HBO shows, even like Watchmen, because Watchmen is just like on some other level than like a lot of shows, and you won't get another season. Where I think we will get a follow-on season for this, unless they decide to not do it, which they would have to write more after the fact. Which they don't have original.
But that's the only thing they probably won't. I mean, and only with 8 episodes, you really don't need another season. Then
I like the mini series. I like the or whatever they call it, limited engagement.
Yeah, no, and I think that's cool though.
Yeah,
you know
what
I mean? I think that it works especially for something like this where it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah,
this is not gonna have. They would have to do another Lovecraft series.
Yeah.
In order for they would do another book and completely. Otherwise, it's gonna turn to American Horror Story ish.
Yeah,
where it's American Horror Story, but it's completely different.
Yeah,
sections.
I can't not watch it because how I'm fantasy horror.
Yes.
And then getting to see racists get their ass beat.
It was
that shit is.
But listen, but we want white folks.
Who doesn't get a hard on from seeing racists get their ass beat?
But it's not. But it. I think that
it's not just about that. There's the entire message is racists getting their ass beat though. So like when you boil it all down to it, it's just you're giving me a lot of fuel to sit on my couch and go, yeah. Yeah, motherfucker, that's right.
But, we need people to watch that though, because this shit really happens.
Man, they ain't gonna understand that shit.
But watch it because of science, the sci-fi.
They should try to understand. They should try.
But just on a basic level, it's a good horror show.
The show will lose a lot of people because of that, but I don't think Misha Green gives a shit.
Yeah, not at all.
I don't think HBO gives a shit, and they shouldn't.
But when you have strong actors like Jonathan Myers, wasn't he in Star Wars something or another? He was in the Five Bloods.
He was in the flashback part of that.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I thought he was in something else. The Last Black Man in San Francisco. But I think that he reminds me of the English dude from. That's who I thought it was. But I thought that like I said, I think when you have strong characters. Michael Keith Williams as Montrose, Courtney B. Vance, Journey Smollett. Jonathan Myers, Angela Ellis, who thinks, we're not gonna talk about Angela Ellis.
Yeah.
But I think you have some really strong actors in there who can act, and the storyline is pretty good, and the script is pretty good, and you get attached to these characters. Because I think everybody loves Letitia right now. I think Letitia and everybody. Cause we wrote it came on. Uncle George died,
and see that I guess that's the problem I have with. A part of the show is that I don't give a fuck about none of them really right now. Like it's like the story matters more than them. Like, and anyone that says different, like they fucking shot Uncle George and he's dead. Like he's fucking dead, and like it's like
and that's it.
Like you will get over him. It's 2 episodes in. One of the main characters, he's gone. If Letitia would have died, you would have did the same thing. Like you did. You are not invested in these people right now.
I don't know. I don't know because of the subject matter.
I know.
No, seriously, because of the subject matter, and that's why I think they did it on purpose. While they just diving into this, is because they want to make you feel for these characters.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You feel. But are you actually attached yet?
Some
people might be attached.
Letitia ran out of there and said, "Get your fucking ass, let's get out of here."
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm the Letitia fucking Lewis.
That shit was funny.
Exactly.
Some people might be attached. I find myself attached to what they're going through and stuff like that. But them as characters themselves, I'm just like,
I think that's you try to merge the two.
It ain't working. Not for me at least. That shit ain't working. Like, I know it's not working for. I know it's not working for a lot of people. Yeah. And then it's working for a lot of people. Yeah. And the thing is, you're not gonna hit a home run with everyone.
No, yeah.
But the show is hitting home runs.
Yes.
It's just not hitting Barry Bonds right now. It's hitting more like Jose Canseco.
Oh, good.
Like,
Yeah, no.
Jose Canseco 87. Before, Bash Brothers. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. But guys, let us know if you
like.
Go
to Lovecraft episodes
Country.
1 and 2, and Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country 1 and 2.
We'll try to get some guest stars in here we'll get some people that really love the show in here. I'm gonna find a crazy person to hate the show to come up on this.
I'm all about that. Yo, y'all gotta let me know. Listen, don't text me. Let me know in the comments. Don't text me. Yeah. Don't text me.
If you still texting James, what's wrong with
Stop texting me, damn it.
Hey, bruh. You need to,
no, stop texting me. You know who you are. Stop texting me. No, Damn it! Stop texting me. No, write it in the comments. Let everybody know about this. Let me, everybody know about the podcast and what y'all think about Lovecraft episodes 1 and 2 recap. But this was fun, Kings. We gotta do this again.
Hey, man. I mean, I think we're going to.
Yeah, it's inevitable. No.
This is the last episode.
This is the last episode of that's it.
The last
we're
episode.
We're in that.
Fuck it over.
But it does come on Sundays.
Sundays at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay.
9 o'clock
so
on HBO.
Yes. So you can also watch it on.
That too late? That too late for the producer?
No, I just didn't expect to be on HBO.
Man, we get you a password, man. Shut your ass up.
You can get on.
We get you a password.
But yeah, so you guys check it out. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. Yeah. And that's it.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
All right.